It is December 30th, and it has been a crazy couple weeks. The boys have been off since the 17th. Their school/daycare closes for 2 weeks, so all the teachers can spend time with their families, which is lovely, but it means they've been home, and it has been a wild ride. We had company in and out visiting us for 10 days, so just a lot of moving parts, a lot of changes in environment, all amazing stuff, and we had a great Christmas. But I have not gotten any of what I love to do with these episodes done in like 2 weeks. And so I thought, you know what? The boys are napping. I slightly have my voice back. Somehow I lost it. I've heard of cedar fever in Texas, the cedar fever season, where it's the allergy season for cedar. I honestly think that's what it is because I did test negative for COVID. But yeah, I've got a little bit of a voice back. The boys are napping. Everybody's gone. We're by ourselves. And so I thought, I'm going to share my big lessons learned from 2021. I know a lot of people like to do this, but I just feel like it's a really good way to reflect on things that you learned, things that you want to maybe continue to grow in, things that you want to be better in the new year, and just kind of share those with you. And I would love in the comments, like, what were your big lessons learned from 2021? Was it a good year? Was it a year filled with struggles? Maybe a combination of both. I know that we had both going on, but every single lesson that I learned from this past year honestly has made me grow so much personally, professionally, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as like a member of our new community, as a friend, and I'm excited to share those lessons with you. Okay. I wrote them down so I don't forget, because honestly, having the boys home for 2 weeks and still running the business and taking care of family and Christmas, I just feel like I am not with the program right now. Like, I am really forgetful, and I generally am not. And so let's go with number 1. It doesn't always have to make sense. What do I mean by this? I feel like a lot of times when we're making big decisions on stuff, we're looking for like evidence that it's going to work, right? We're going to take big risk, but we want big reward, or we're scared of failure, or we're not sure like what the actual outcome will be, the unpredictableness of it. And so that can kind of stop us in our tracks. But for me, I made some really big decisions this year, like massively big decisions. And I was like, do they have to make sense all the time if I don't know what the outcome is? Some of the decisions I make, I don't even know why I was doing it. It just felt like it was something I was passionate about. It felt good. Mentally, it felt good. Like physically, it felt good in my gut. And so like one of them, honestly, was this YouTube channel. I mean, I'm 37 years old. I'm a mom of 2. I have had my own health and fitness business for 10 years, online for 3 years. And I was like,
why are you doing a YouTube channel? You probably should have done that before you were a mom and like maybe like when the influencer thing was hot.
But I wasn't doing this to be an influencer. The reason I wanted to do this was to have my own creative outlet. And when Paul and I got here in March, I'll never forget, we were going on a walk and he was like, so what do you think about baby number 3? Like, how do you feel like with growing our family? I was asking him the same question, and we both agreed, like, for the first time in a really long time, I was going to have time and space for myself. We were in a new environment, in a new chapter of our life, like we were running a totally new business from what we were used to with the strength training gym. And I was like, you know what, babe? Like, I don't know if our family's complete, but I want the year of me, right? Like I had said goodbye to my mom in January, and it had been a really long fight she had had. We moved across the country. It was just a lot of things. And I was like, I just want to create, and I want to be me, and I want to be unapologetically me, and I want to put myself first. I won't be on IVF medicines. I won't be pregnant. I won't be caring for loved ones. Like, I just get to be me. And I was like, and I'm going to start that YouTube channel. Like, I had done an episode with Rachel, who is my video production manager, back in 2017 when we were going through IVF.
What's playing this morning? It's the country list.
Yeah, I can't start my morning without country. Is it a crowd favorite here? Probably not.
And I was like, you know what, Rach? Like, I'm really excited. I want to do this. I'm like, but I can't do it right now with all the IVF. Like, mentally, I wasn't in it. And I was like, you know what? 2021, I'm going to start that YouTube channel. I maybe have 500 followers, but it's not about the following. It's just a place for me to share what I love, to share my love for food, my love for fitness, like my passion for living a big life. Like, that's what it's all about for me. And also giving other people permission to like go after what you want and to win. Like, that's what it's all about. And so things don't always have to make sense. Did it make sense when we moved across the country while we were closing down a business and we were in the negative in our bank account and my mom was ill? Probably not, but you know what? Things don't have to make sense. It's the excitement that comes along with it, and it's that creativity that comes along with it. And with, big decisions come big rewards, and I feel like that's happened with us. So it doesn't always have to make sense. Number 2, this has been the year of learning how absolutely important language is. And so we had taken a course earlier this year, Paul and I, and we'll be doing another one come this March 2022, all about the science behind language, how important language is, and how your perception of the world is what you project. And what you project is actually going to come back to you. So many times we were realizing with our clients, like in our business, that this reality they had was actually a perception of all the projections that were put on them, right? They thought they had to restrict the food that they eat in order to have a transformation that they desire. They thought they had to work out 7 days a week, 2 times a day in order to be fit. They thought they had to give up socializing, give up time with their family, whatever it was, in order to actually be in an athletic and fit body. But that's just because that's what they saw in the story in their life, right? They saw that on social media. They saw another friend that was doing it, whatever it was. And we were like, wow, that's really powerful, because really whatever you want and desire is your perception, and then you're going to go project it. And so we started to realize, like, that's a really important concept, and the language you use with it, suggestive language, is so important. And so when you hear someone say, like, oh man, like, you're not going to lose weight if you're eating gluten, like, all of a sudden you actually start to believe that. That's how powerful language is. And so we literally retrained our brains, and we retrained the way that we speak and the power of the words that we use to help others honestly create stories that are powerful, that are positive. And so this has been a year of learning how to use it with our clients, how to use it in our marriage, in our relationship, and like explain to each other, like, hey, the way that you're talking, right? Like that's not a positive way. That's not going to help you mentally. That's not helping us emotionally. And like we can help each other with that. And it's been so amazing for Paul and I. And it's been really awesome for the boys, because the way we speak to them is in a way that we suggest very positive behavior and positive language. And it has just been such an easy, happy experience with our boys as 2-year-olds when we're using this language. And so one thing I would be like, lesson learned is, if the way that I perceive the world is how I'm going to project it, and I am going to draw people in like that. And so the power of me possessing attributes that I value. So I value decisiveness. I value people that want to take care of themselves the same as I do. I value honesty. I value trust. I value happiness and laughing and all of that. And so if I don't possess those attributes, and then if I don't walk that walk, how am I going to draw people in like that into my environment? So first thing is, like, I have to act the way that I actually want to be, so I can also have people in my circle like that. And then I can use that language of those attributes that I want to possess in order to help others. And it's been super amazing for us. Number 3, environment. Surround yourself with people that possess similar attributes that you want to desire. And I also always want to be the dumbest person in the room. And why do I say that? I learned in 2021, like, I don't ever want to stop growing, right? It's either grow or die. And part of that comes with putting yourself in an environment of people that are going to push you to be better, people that are smarter than you, where you want to learn more skill sets, you want to learn from them. And I realized that sometimes I was putting myself in environments that weren't doing that for me. And maybe it was because I was scared to step out of my comfort zone. I was scared to step into the person that I knew I was supposed to be, maybe because of judgment of others, or who do they think she is. But I was like, you know what? Like, this is my one life to live. It's not a dress rehearsal, and I'm going to make the best of it. And so I put myself around environments of people now that are very like-minded as I am, that can help me continue to grow and to push me outside of my comfort zone. Because every time I start to feel a little uncomfortable, maybe a little anxious, what I used to think was, oh, okay, don't do that, right? It's easier to stay comfortable. Now, being in these new environments and having this new perception of the world, I'm like, wait a minute, that's your sign that something big's about to happen. That uncomfortableness means you're on the verge of a huge breakthrough, and you need to embrace it, and you need to learn more about yourself, and you need to ask for help, and you need to continue to grow. So that is number 3. Environment matters. Like, if you want to set yourself up for success, be around people that are going to challenge you to live bigger and to be a better version of yourself. Like, if you're trying to lose weight right now and you're going out with people that are still getting drunk all weekend long or eating, massive amounts of food, is that the environment that's going to support you best to be in the body that you want? Like, I realized I was a big drinker. And when I was in my early 20s and even late 20s, I was still going out and drinking massive amounts and just not feeling well, not being productive in my business, not being productive with my health or my self-care. And I was like, you know what? You need to switch the environment that you're in if you want to be successful. And that can hurt sometimes and that can be scary, but you can also just have unbelievable experiences when you choose to do it. Number 4. Decisiveness. I guess this kind of goes with 2020 because that's when we decided we were moving to Texas. Like, literally, we were sitting in our backyard in Chicago. It was COVID. We knew we had to close the gym down. There was nothing else we could do with all the COVID restrictions. And we were like, are you ready to move? Like, do you want to have a new adventure? And right then and there, we decided to move to Texas. We had a realtor on the line in 24 hours. We were here in November looking at homes, signed on a home in November, moved here in March. But this also has been a year of making decisions and knowing that they either are going to have failures or they're going to have rewards, but we didn't care. Every decision we have made, every investment we have made this year has only made Paul and I grow bigger, personally and professionally. And we have 3x'd our business from where it was in the gym a year ago. Our marriage is stronger than ever. Our family is happier than ever. And what we've realized, it's because we don't waver on stuff. We just decide. And it doesn't always have to make sense, like number 1, but when we make those big decisions and we just say, hey, that's what we're gonna do, we know that we 10x every single time. And so that's been a really cool experience for us to have together and individually with a lot of big decisions we made this year. Okay, my last one. Probably the most important one that I've realized being a mother is asking for support. For so long, probably a lot of people, I didn't want to admit that I needed extra help or I needed an extra set of hands for my kids or that I can't do everything I want to do in my business or that I need help in my marriage to communicate better. But once I realized that there's actually no shame in asking for help, it actually just shows that you are someone that cares about yourself and cares about your relationships and cares about your business or whatever it is. It's actually a really, really cool, freeing feeling to ask for support. There was a point in the summer, the boys were still home with me full-time 2 days a week, and then I would run the business the other 3 and on the weekend, and I was drowning, and I was exhausted, and I was having issues with my gut, cramping and all these crazy things that I don't normally have. And I was like, what is going on? And I was taking on too many things that one person could handle. And I finally started to ask for support. I was like, babe, I need the boys in daycare 5 days a week if we're going to run and grow this business the way we want to. I need to hire on more people to our team. And Paul realized the same thing. If we want to continue to live the quality of life that we want with the abundance that we have, as well as enjoy life and still run an amazing business. We hired support at the home to help me with my cleaning or with some of the tasks around it, whether it be cutting the grass. And a lot of people are like, oh, you can do that on your own. But the truth of it is, for me, is that I could do it on my own, but I'm not going to do it to the utmost ability that I want to do it, or I'm not the professional in it. And so the business has been amazing. We're going to be 2022 is going to be the year we're hiring on a lot more people to our team, but we hired other coaches because I love fulfillment. I love working directly with our clients. I love content creation, but I don't love doing payroll. I don't love doing accounting. I don't love having to think about everything I should do for my marketing content. And so I started hiring people out for that, because then my mental bandwidth, my time, my energy can be better spent on the things that I'm passionate about. And if you start to experience burnout, which I was experiencing it with my children, I was experiencing it with my marriage, I was experiencing with our business, I had to really take a step back and be like, well, what are you trying to do that's actually causing this burnout? And the business was easy. I love doing fulfillment and I love creating. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm meant to be doing. And I was doing a lot of other stuff that wasn't really aiding in me showing up as the best version of me for our clients, for my community, for my children. And the same with the boys. I love being their mom, but I wasn't being the best mom when I was totally spent on energy and lack of having it to use with them. And so I'm asking for support now. And It feels better. Like, and I don't care if I have to spend money to get more support because I get more time back from me, and it's more valuable time, and it's more time that I can spend that's special with my boys and with our clients and with my friends and family and everything else. And so that was my biggest one, like being okay with asking for support and not having to make sense of the money I was spending in order to do that. So that's it. Those are my top 5 2021 lessons learned. There's a lot more that I learned, but I feel like those are the ones that really spoke to me and really had the most meaning. And so I would love to know, guys, what were your big lessons learned? Share in the comments below. Let me know moving forward into 2022. Like, what else would you like to see from this channel? Like I said, it's just my place to kind of share what my life is like and how health and fitness has helped me be in the mental, physical state that I'm in. And I am as open as possible to sharing whatever you need to hear in order for you to live the biggest 2022 life that you can. All right, I will chat soon.